Listen and listen to me carefully because I'm going to tell you this for free. My name is Ipeleng and I am from Botswana. It's 1 a.m. right now in Gaborone, Botswana, and I've decided to create this video for you, with you in mind. You're thinking of coming to Africa. Every video that you've watched tells you, come to Africa, they love us over here. There's a lot of respect over here. It's home. I feel like I'm in heaven. I feel like I'm finally connected to my ancestors and to my roots. All that is so beautiful. It makes you want to pack your bags the next day and come to Africa. It makes you want to move right away. But before you do that, I'm a medical doctor by profession. I moved from Czech Republic where I lived for 15 years. And then I went to the UK, hated it. And then I moved to Botswana. It was like this. I didn't think about it for years. Just a few months in the UK, I knew I can't do this anymore. I have to go back home. I had lived for a very long time in Czech, in case you want to ask why, because I did my undergrad there, my medical school, and then I also then went back to specialize there. So it was something that I couldn't leave right away. I had to survive, I had to endure. So I did. And when it was time to leave, I decided to go to the UK because it's multicultural, yada yada. Anyway, that's besides the point of this video. The point of this video is do not move back home before you set up systems that generate money, that generate income. The main problem that I have had in the last few months, I've been here now for about 10 months. The main problem that I've had is income. Well, I did have some savings, I'm still living on that, but it's the frustration of not being able to earn. Whilst adapting, whilst being on the fence about staying, about leaving, being able to actively do something as well, not just like having something that you have set up in motion before you moved here, or that you have kind of created, even if it's not yet working, whether it's a business, whether it's a job, whatever it is. Even if you set it up in Europe or in the US, wherever you are right now, even if you set that up in Africa, whether it's building, whatever you do, listen, do it before you move here. Even if it's in the US and you say, well, now I have enough properties that are generating enough disposable income, because we all know that when you have properties, you have to pay sometimes mortgages, renovation, fixtures, damages, this, that. You have even then disposable income that you can survive on whilst in Africa. Okay, do not follow all these videos. Yes, I listen to people telling you that Africa is amazing. Yes, it is amazing, because I cannot remember the last time I lived in a country for 8 months and not experience not 1 ounce of racism or discrimination because of how I look like, right? Anything that I've experienced that has been unpleasant, whether I go to an office, whether I go out, is not because of racism. It's not because I look the way that I look. It's just because maybe the person is mean, or the person is just an unpleasant person, but not because of how I look. So it's been great to not experience anything bad because of how I look. It has been amazing. Okay, but here in Botswana, at least, I don't know about other African countries, but I do understand that it is a continent-wide problem. Everything is super slow. Let's say you're coming here and you're thinking about starting your business, and you're saying, well, I have money in my bank account, I have saved up enough, and I'm gonna start a business and live off the business that I'm going to start, that you're going to start when you move. Remember, a registration for a company actually is quick in Botswana. It can take about a week. But In my line of work as a medical doctor and especially, there's a lot of licenses that I need to do. Well, there's one license that I need to do so that I can work in the government, and then I need to do the second one if I want to work for myself or work in a private hospital. Okay, yeah, actually I can work in a private hospital with just one license, but to work for myself in my own private practice, I need another license. So for me, that has taken months. Even at this point, as we speak, I got licensed to practice medicine in the public and in private, but not work for myself. No private practice license. Okay. Everything took forever. It took months. They will tell you to bring one document, and then the next day bring this other document. Just making you run around in cycles like a headless chicken. There's no concept of time, at least where I am. Okay, I don't know about other places, I don't know about other countries, but where I am in comparing to Europe, maybe they will say otherwise. Somebody can say otherwise in the comments. I absolutely love my country. I don't think there's any place like it. But so far, there's no concept of time. It doesn't matter where you go, whether it's with the fundis, what they call the fundis in East Africa. Yes, I've learned a new word. People, artisans, people who deal with construction stuff, they're called the fundis in East Africa. Nice word. So anyway, things take time. So when you come here, know that whatever you're going to do, expect for things to take a long time. Give yourself a year or 2 years, and then if you have that in mind, that it might take a year, it might take 2 years, it'll be less frustrating for you. Okay. And if you're going to be relying on your savings, you will want to have active income every month, like money that comes into account every month. I don't care how much you've saved, okay? And then another thing that you must expect is the fact that life here is not the way it is in Europe. Whatever you're used to doing for fun, whether it's traveling in Europe or in America, know that yes, you can travel here in Africa, but it's not easy to travel across the continent. And the flights are super duper expensive, and there's border control. We have a lot of borders in between countries, and they're super strict. You get hundreds of questions. What are you coming to do? Where are you going? This. Actually, I have seen that it's quite easy for me to travel across Europe because I traveled so much. I could travel, I could think about, oh, I want to go to Italy tomorrow, or I want to go to the UK tomorrow, and just do it just like that, okay? But here in Africa is a different ball game. Whatever you're used to doing in Europe for fun, you're going to have to find other ways of having fun here in the motherland. Safety. Think about safety. I don't know about the US, but I do know that in Europe, I mean in Czech Republic, let me not say Europe, in Czech Republic and in the parts of UK where I was, because I was in Scotland, it was pretty safe. I could take a walk in the middle of the night. My favorite thing to do is take walks at night because it's chilly, especially in the summer. The air is cool, it's silent outside, it's quiet outside, I mean, and you know, nobody will trouble you whatsoever. You can take a walk, listen to your music, hold your phone out, chat to a friend, video call a friend. It was amazing. So it's the little things like this that you say, okay, now she's talking about, you know, things that don't matter. As long as I have a business running and I have money, I'm okay. Listen, it's the little things. It's the things that you think don't matter. You are used to having fun by traveling, by taking walks at night, and you might take these things for granted, but once you get here, those little things become so huge. You're like, I can't even take a walk. There was a day that I was thinking, listen, I'm in one of the safest, supposedly, neighborhoods in Gaborone. I am in Gaborone North. This is where I built my house. I'm in one of the safest neighborhoods. I should be able to travel or walk around at night, but that's not the case. Even though it's one of the safest neighborhood, I think this is one of the most expensive suburbs to buy land or to even build a house or to buy a house. okay, after Pakalani or after Block 10, I don't know exactly, but it's one of the most expensive neighborhoods. So I thought about it last time. I said, I can't even take a walk freely. I am scared to go out at night. And what do I now do with myself if this is how I'm used to, process my thoughts or deal with my stress? I'm used to either traveling or taking walks, or yeah, I'm pretty sure I have taken walks before during the day, but in the evening that's not something that I can do. Even in the morning, I'm not fully rested in my mind, like, yes, I'm taking a walk, it's amazing, especially because I'm doing all this by myself. If you have friends already, it's easier, but I'm not trying to make everything sounds difficult, okay? I'm just saying, when you come here, come prepared mentally that you need to develop other ways of having fun. You need to consider issues of safety. You need to consider issues of public transport. Here in Botswana, public transport is not, it's okay. It's okay compared to what I've seen being used in other African countries, right? You can get into the combis, take a little bit of a walk and get into them. The population is very low, it's not too busy, all of that stuff. But it's still not the standards that you'll be used to in Europe. So before you get a car, you're gonna have to use public transport. And it's this small combis that you get squished into with a lot of people. So it's those little things, and I am not being dramatic, like I said. I'm just trying to say, prepare your mind, know that you're going to live a different life than the one that you've been used to. The quality is going to be different. The quality in terms of the little things like transport, like safety, they're not little, especially when you talk about safety. Yeah. Over my time here in Bots, I have heard a lot about, unfortunately, people unaliving their girlfriends or their wives. Is a real problem that we have in our country, or maybe in our SADC region, because I hear of the same issues in South Africa. Okay, so, but yeah, for me, the most important thing above everything else, I think, if you have money, if you have income, if you have something to actively do, not sit at home, then yeah, you are ready to move home. And I will say, before I close the video, before I end it, because I think I'm past the 10 minutes mark, which I had intended to stop at, is before you move, kind of desensitize yourself. Travel to Africa, maybe explore a few different African countries that you think you can move to, whether you want a rural life or you want a modern life. But most people that come from the diaspora, I think they want to maybe buy a farm and live in the farm, which is amazing. So explore the continent. Buy a house or a home, or even if you're going to rent, explore the properties in your area where you want to rent. And if you're moving as a single woman, explore the safest areas to move to. You want to make sure that wherever you move is safe, that you can at least take a walk in the morning, go for your jog, go for a run before you make friends, right? Because those first few weeks you won't be having anybody to go for a run with or go for a walk with. So explore the area, the safety. Don't just one day you visited Botswana, you went touring and you were like, hey, it's amazing, I'm moving here. Or you went to South Africa and you're like, it's great, Johannesburg is great, the vibes are great, or Cape Town is great, because you went on a holiday. That's not enough. Go there and immerse yourself into the culture, be around the people, see what it's all about before you make your big move, okay? And most importantly, again, money. It sounds like I'm obsessed with money, but you need it. You need it, especially to survive. You need it to make your life easier. when you have money, there's a lot that you can do. You're stressed out, you go for a massage. You feel like going for your coffee, you go for your coffee. You go for your dinner. You're not limited. You're not like, oh, I need this money for food. Let me keep it for food instead of going out to have fun, or even traveling to another African country. Like I told you, it's very expensive to travel across Africa. Okay, yeah. So don't move before. Don't move. Don't do it. Don't do it. I know you want to do it because of the videos that you've seen, but don't do it before you set up some sort of business, because again, finding a job here, don't think that you're gonna come from Europe and then find a job here, or you're gonna come from the US and find a job that pays, you know, the amount of money that you are used to. I have had to explore taking a huge pay cut where I'm gonna make 1/5 of my salary that I was used to in the UK. But for me, that's because I wanna acquaint myself with the system, you know, and also just freshen up my medical skills, my surgical skills, because I've been out of practice for a while whilst waiting for papers to be processed and all of that. And yeah, finally I'm gonna start. I think I should have started 2 weeks ago working, but I'm gonna start hopefully this coming week in the hospital, far away from home again, in another city. Not because I want to, but because, you know, that's what they do. They will just send you to whatever place where they need doctors. But yeah, I'm excited to do that, to freshen up my surgical skills and stuff like that. But you know, if you are in a different field, it's not something that you want to do, take such a huge pay cut. You still want to somehow maintain your quality of life, or at least half of it, okay? Not 1/5 of what you're used to, because 1/5 pay cut means I get to live, my quality of life also is like 1/5. Hopefully I will join some hiking group and do some other fun stuff so that the quality of my life improves. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I'm looking forward to interacting with the locals again, but woo, it's not as easy as they make it sound on YouTube, as they make it sound on Facebook, as they make it sound on Instagram, and showing all these pictures of themselves and videos of themselves traveling around Africa and showing it as paradise. It's amazing, but I'm coming to you with a different experience and a different perspective tonight, and I hope that you listen to this. And if you have moved, share with me your experiences, or if you have some advices for me, seeing where I am and the stuff I'm telling you. Go down in the comments and let's talk, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, see you in the next video. Bye.